Alrighty. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Phoenix College Baseball Podcast. We have some new guests today. We have introduce yourself, guys.
My name is Jake Willerup. I'm a freshman outfielder here at Phoenix College.
My name is Joshua Cortez. I'm a sophomore first baseman at Phoenix College.
And I'm Casey Wayne, back at it again, outfielder, first baseman.
Awesome. All right. Well, just tell your story about how you guys got here. Casey, we've heard your story, so you two tell how you got to Phoenix College.
So I'm a freshman. I was recruited by Coach Kimball before Scott took over, but I had heard about Phoenix College. I had heard about the amazing pass that they'd had the last 3-4 years, and I could have went somewhere closer to home like CG or Scottsdale, but I just thought that Phoenix would be the best place for me to develop and become the best player I can be.
Yeah. I remember I was a senior in high school. It was like November, and I was like starting to like email some coaches. And I emailed all the coaches in the ACAC, and I emailed Kimball too, a bunch of video and stuff. And Kimball was actually the only one that like replied back to me and was like, "Hey, like we're really interested. Like if you can give me like if you can let me know like when I can call, like that'd be perfect." And it was like really weird too, because at the same time, I always remember this when I emailed Phoenix College, when I emailed Kimball, I like had like a vision in my head. It was like weird, it's like some telepathic stuff or something like that. I don't know. I had some vision. I saw myself in like the PC uniform. Like I already knew like this is probably where I was gonna be. Like I had like this instinct feeling that I was gonna be in. Turned out, had a phone call with him like the next 2 days later, and we're on the phone. Way different guy than on the phone than when he was in person. And next thing you know, one thing led from the other. And next thing I'm a committed Bear. So that's how I got here. So thank you for Kimball giving me the opportunity, because that was awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's kind of what I think. Like the JUCO is like the last resort, but
My last
everyone
episode.
says it's like the best time of your life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, we'll jump right into the questions. So, who's a college athlete that's made an impact on your life, like growing up? Like, why did you want to play college sports?
For me, there wasn't necessarily a college player, but just watching college players all together was an atmosphere that I definitely wanted to be a part of. I just remember watching college teams like ASU and GCU play, and to me, it just looked so fun. The atmosphere that they were playing in was completely different than like MLB or any other type of league. So for me, it wasn't necessarily a player himself, but more just watching the teams and how they went about playing the game. It just seemed really fun to continue playing that way.
Oh, yeah. Like for sure, like definitely just bouncing off that, like growing up, just like watching college baseball just as a general, like the College World Series is so electric, so fun. And like growing up, you'd watch teams like LSU, UCLA, Florida State. You see like the electricity from the team and like the atmosphere that they're playing in. It's just like I wouldn't want anything else. Like just having that feeling, and it was like the closest thing I ever got to was like when we went to Oklahoma last year. Like it was like that same exact vibe that we were talking about. And even like the play-ins when we were facing like Chandler Gilbert, like those were some electric moments, and like those are the ones that like I was like dreaming of, and I finally got to experience. So definitely watching like college baseball, World Series all the time was just like something that really wanted me to like play more college baseball. So
Yeah, the first ever college baseball game I ever went to, I was a Stanford game, and Mark Appel was pitching. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but he was like the first overall pick, probably like about 10 years ago, and he threw like a complete shutout against Vandy. I went to Stanford versus Vandy. It was my first game ever. It was like dream matchup. I didn't even like know how crazy it was at the time, but seeing the atmosphere of that game, I was like it really drove it. Like I can do this. Like this is something I want to do. This is something I want to have a passion for. And ever since then, I was like, this is what I want to do with my life. So ever since then, it's been my goal to go D1, play baseball in that crazy atmosphere. So yeah.
definitely watching that Vandy team. What was it? What year did they win with Dansby Swanson?
2019.
Was it 2019? No, it was 2014.
Was it way earlier?
Yeah,
Like,
with Dansby Swanson.
that'd be like 2017.
It was like, I don't know, like 2013, 2014. It was around that time, but like I remember when I was younger, I'd watch like their like season highlights, and this like that Vandy team was like something special. But I used to love watching like the team with like that just won the World Series. I think it was like in 2013, 2014. I don't know, something like that. But that team was so fun to watch all the time. So I always love watching those highlights all the time.
That's awesome. Yeah, there were some kids in my high school that were playing U1 baseball that kind of took me under their wing when I was, I think, like a sophomore. And like they'd go back to school after the winter, after we like would train with them, and I'll be like, I get to see these guys on TV.
Yeah.
I was like, this is crazy. Like I want to do this. It seems awesome. So that kind of like just drove me, and then like they just seemed like they're having more fun than everyone else. Like everyone else is at like a job, and they're like, dude, this, like I have to go to school and just job. And these guys are like, yeah, I get to play baseball every day.
And also too, like another thing to bounce off like that, it was just like in high school's fun, but not everybody in high school like wants to be there. Not everybody like wants like baseball to be like what consumes their entire time. You know, like this is something they just do on the side. But like I knew that like if I were to go to a college team, there'd be everyone there is going to be just like me. Everyone there is going to want to be there. Everybody there's going to put in extra work. Everybody's going to want to like do all this other stuff, and like baseball is going to be like what they are so passionate about. So I felt like wanting to be in like that college atmosphere where just like everybody around me is just like me. I was like, this is what I want to do, because at my high school, there's only like 4 or 5 guys that genuinely like bought in and just wanted to, you know, work every day, do extra work. And I was like, I want to be in a place where everybody on the team was like that. So I think that was another thing that drove me too.
That's awesome. All right, we'll go to the next question. We have the bird moment of the week.
What was he doing? I didn't see it.
Just throwing rocks. Just throwing some rocks.
So much in that video.
There's a lot to unpack.
Bird is always doing something.
It may not look like a lot with the naked eye, but when you digest the video.
This is after a win,
Bird.
too. This is after a win in the South.
Yeah.
Just on the way out, just fucking rocks.
He just always lets his intrusive thoughts win, man. That's what I always love about him. Like, he will think something and just act on upon it right away.
Yeah. I have no idea what goes through his mind.
Yeah.
Every time I told Bird one time, I was like, Bird, what goes through your mind? Like, I just pictured just like static, just like, like the entire time in his mind. He's just like,
It's so funny though when you like talk to him and get to know him. He's actually so cool.
No, he's
Like,
the coolest person
yeah,
ever,
yeah.
bro.
Like, I go to Chipotle with him all the time. He's actually really talkative when you get to know him. But if
Yeah.
you don't, like, I remember the first time I met him, I'm like, what's your name? He's like, Bird. And I'm like, what? He's like Bird. I'm like, what? I'm like, all right, whatever. But he's a super cool kid to get to know him.
You know, like the dogs that like don't have like any thoughts behind their eyes.
Yeah.
Sometimes
That's how he is,
That's
bro.
all it's kind of like blank staring. I'm like,
I wonder, does anybody have the video of that one time where he had like the PVC pipe and
Oh,
was
yeah.
just like
Yeah,
twirling it
we
around? Like,
showed it- we
like
showed it last week, yeah.
That was so funny, bro.
oh.
Interesting kid, man.
Okay, we'll go to the next question. What like environment creates the best athletes, do you think?
I think a competitive environment is probably the most important thing. Like, you want to go somewhere where, you know, you're not going to have necessarily going to have the starting spot right away. You have others pushing you to become better. And I don't know, that's why I came to Phoenix, because they've been the best the last 2 years. And I was like, you know, this is a place where they're going to push me to be better. You know, this is a place where I'm going to have competition. This is a place where, you know, I'm not going to ever be super comfortable with where I am on the field. And, you know, that's actually a good thing. You know, if you have something to push you all the time, it's going to make you a better player. So that's why I think that this is a good place to develop, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like how you say, like a place where like everybody around you is like just feeding off of each other. So like if you're kind of like half-assing like your work ethic, or like you're half-assing at practice, and the person next to you in that your position is working even harder than you, like it's gonna kind of like drive you to like push even more, because if you don't have somebody next to you that's like kind of like pushing you, those moments where you're half-assing it, you don't really feel like you want to do it, you know, it's just gonna put you in a place of complacency. And so like I want to be at practice knowing like the 2 other guys, like how we do it at first base. Like I love how like we're taking ground balls at first base, and like we have like these competitions every time, like whoever makes the most errors is like has to do like some type of punishment. So just like knowing that there's like something behind that, and knowing that like, okay, Casey's gonna do this good, and Chris is gonna do this, and we're both trying to compete for like that starting spot, it just like it pushes you more and more during practice to, you know, go the extra mile, go push the extra effort. And I want to be in a place like that, because if you don't have anybody pushing you next to you, then, you know, you can only push yourself so far. That's how I think of it. And if you have others around you who have the same mindset as you, it's only going to help you be a better person. So I feel like definitely being in a place where others have the same mindset as you would help you be a better athlete.
Yeah, Kimball used to say this a lot, and I think that it runs true with almost every program. But he used to say that if your best player on your team is the hardest worker, then your team is going to be like a really good team, because it'll just trickle down from the top. If your best player works super hard, everyone else on the team is going to have to continue to work hard because they want to try to be the best player on the team. And to be the best player on the team, you have to continue to work as hard, if not harder than that guy currently is. So when you're in a competitive environment like that, and like your best players are also working hard and doing all those types of things, it pushes everyone else. It almost forces them to continue to work hard too, if they want to be a good player on that team and the best player on that team. And it also helps too when those top players are wanting to help people below them, instead of just being like stuck up and not encouraging people to get better. But when they want to help everyone else get better too, but behind them, that's a good place to be at.
Yeah, and even if you're it helps with like your top players in the team too, because a lot of times like there will be teams where like the top players are like officially the top players, or nobody else, like they think in their minds nobody else can take their spots. But I feel like if they know that, if they in the back of their mind thinks that nobody else can take their spots, nobody else can just have their spot one day, I feel that's going to set a level of complacency where they start to like work less, you know, not take it as much seriously. But if they have in the back of their mind, like they're scared every day, like, dude, somebody can take my spot whenever like the moment comes, like I got to keep it going, because one day like I might not be a starter anymore. So if you have that in the back of your mind, it's only going to push you more and more to keep working harder and harder. But if you're just like, nobody's going to take my spot, like I'm the best player here, like I don't care how much I work, like I don't even have to work harder, I would still be the starting whatever. If you have that in the back of your mind, it's only going to worsen you and the team. So I feel like if you have in the back of your mind like being a little scared to lose your spot is a good thing, because that's how you know that there's others around you who are just going to push you to be even better.
Yeah, I completely agree. I know there's the rule of like, it's like 45%. If you want to like in a full growth mindset, if it's like 45% have to be pushing you. Like you have to be not as good as like your 45% of your training partners. Yeah. If you like truly want to grow, because it still means you're like almost better. You're better than like more than half, but there's that little percent that like you need to be pushing for and being able to like try and like get to that extra just push.
Yeah, and if you ever watch our games, like our lineups every game change a lot. Yeah, like Casey's hitting like almost every single spot.
Every single spot.
Tons of positions. It's like, you're never comfortable on this team, which is a good thing.
That is a good thing. If you know, like, I feel like comfort kills, man. So if you're comfortable like where you are right now, it's only gonna make you worse. So I like that. Like every day, you just never know who's gonna be playing. You never know if you're gonna be playing. Like, so I like that kind of thing.
I agree. Yeah, I also think like older brothers, that creates like good athletes. I don't know why younger brothers are always better athletes.
Yeah, they do, because they learn from the older brother and learn from their mistakes. Or like the older brother just like kind of like teaches them and shows them the ropes. So definitely that too.
I think it's also like the innate like competitiveness in humans. Like if you're like a smaller, like more unathletic person, you're gonna be upset because you're always losing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not fun to lose.
I don't know.
Not at all.
I used to play sports with my brother when I was growing up, and he was like 6 years older than me. He would always whoop my ass all the time. So I hated losing growing up, because he never took it easy on me. Neither my sister. My sister would whoop my ass in basketball all the time, bro. She was like 4 years older than me, and she already had like the height over me, and she would whoop and not care, bro. She would show no mercy. So I had to learn how to lose at an early age. I hated losing. So I feel like that just drove me to be better.
I agree. All right, we'll go to our new eye wash moment of the week. Jake making a TikTok.
When did you make that?
I don't know.
After you committed.
So
What was going through your mind when you made that, bro?
I don't know, man. I just thought it was funny. It's in the draft.
No, it is pretty funny. It is pretty funny.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Hey, the sick edit though. Edit that.
Yeah, it was a sick edit.
All right. We'll go. What's your like high school or like a baseball legend story you've heard?
So for me, my sophomore year of high school, we were playing at Boulder Creek, and we were playing Sandra Day O'Connor, who had Nolan Gorman, who ended up being the 16th overall pick in the MLB draft that year. And he was playing against us, and we had this lefty sidearm kid who came in and threw a slider, like up, completely missed the spot. And Nolan Gorman hit a ball probably like 460 feet. And we have the second fence behind our actual fence for football. And it went over that and one hopped onto the road, which is like 500 feet away. That was absolutely nuts. And now that kid is currently like the St. Louis Cardinals starting second baseman.
Just casually.
So, that was absurd to watch.
Nah, definitely I have. It was one of my, I consider this like a legend moment. I still will never forget this. I forgot what team we were playing, but shout out to my boy Jack Nels if you're watching. This is for you, man. But I had a buddy. He was older than me. His name was Jack Nels. I forgot what team we were playing, but we already had like 3 injuries on this team. It was like my sophomore year. I forgot what team we were playing, and we already had one guy get ejected, and then another guy, one of our coach, took out the game. So we already had 5 people out of the roster already that we can put in. So when that last guy got ejected, it put us at 8 players on the field. So we only had 8 players on the field, including the pitcher. And there was nobody else that can come in the game. So my boy Jack knows. He comes in, and he has to pitch for us because we're like, damn, we have no other choice. Like, we got to get this guy to pitch for us. And he's like probably one of our best pitchers right now. So we get him to come in and pitch. And I think we were tied. And it was like, was it the top of the 7. He comes in to pitch. And we only have 8 players in the field at this time. So we're trying to shift over our second baseman. I think we have our second baseman in like shallow right field. And then we have like the 2 outfielders like kind of playing the gaps. I forgot how they had him set it up. And he comes in and he strikes out the side completely all by himself. And he comes back in the dugout. We're all fired up. We're all ready to go. He comes in. And this dude just like hits a walk-off bomb just by himself. And I'm just like, what the? We were all just going crazy. And this guy just comes in, 8 players in the field, strikes at the side, hits a bomb. And we're all just going crazy. We're all hyped up. But that's probably like one of the craziest stories I've ever been a part of and heard at the same time. Because it's just I never heard anything happen crazy at my school. But on the baseball team too. But just him doing that, it was dude, this is electric. It couldn't get any better than this. I always remember that being one of the craziest things that ever happened at our school's baseball team. So having 8 players in the field coming in, striking out the side, and hit a walk-off bomb, and couldn't get any better than that. That was probably electric.
Yeah, that's crazy. For me, so I moved and transferred schools before my junior year, so I never saw this. But one of the first things that got talked about my first day of practice at my new school, baseball practice, they were talking about this kid at the team was a sophomore, had given up a home run that went at our school. This is unheard of. It went in the outfield of our JV field and left field, which is insane. And I didn't know who it was. They said it was this big time recruit or whatever. And so I don't know, 2 years go by, right? Now I'm at Phoenix College, and this just gets brought up in conversation. And I find out the kid who hit this home run was Phoenix College pitcher Logan Stallion.
No way.
Showed me the video, and it's one of the greatest bat flips I've ever seen.
We have the video.
It's the farthest home run ever hit.
I gotta see it.
We have it. Yeah.
That one, yeah.
Oh yeah. That'll go.
Bat flip. No.
So yeah. Now I know that's one of one of my teammates hit the farthest home run ever at my high school.
And he's a PO.
Kind of interesting, yeah. And they were like, yeah, there's some PO just hit an absolute nuke off one of our pitchers. Like,
Let this guy DH, bro.
yeah.
Jonah
So,
Giblin
yeah.
moment. You know?
Interesting.
Get him on the blast metric.
Yeah.
For real. What the?
Yeah, Logan's a little different. It's a different athlete. Yeah. For me, there was a guy that was drafted in the second round in my high school, and he was like a state champion wrestler too. But there's this story. So in Durango, there's like this valley, right? Like it's a big mountains on both sides, and apparently there was like, I didn't see this with my own eyes, but I was told that there was like 2 feet of snow, and it's like something like 7 a.m. on Christmas morning, and this guy is running valley sprints in the 2 feet of snow up and down. And he was, and then apparently he also allegedly hit a home run off a tee 470 feet over our center field wall.
What? Who the hell is this guy?
That's different.
Young Drago from Rocky or what?
From the back.
Yeah, but because it was our assistant coach telling us, and he's like, dude, I'm just like on my couch, just like with a fire. It's Christmas morning, and he's like, I see like this guy just running, and he's like, I watched him do like 10 valley sprint. When a valley sprint, Durango is insane. Like one is hard.
You know, I have another story actually came up to my mind. No, this is crazy. I consider him a legend for doing this. So there's this kid, my senior year of high school, one of my great friends named Zach Kersey, man. We used to call this kid the Stallion. I can't say why we called him the Stallion because it's not appropriate on air, but I feel like you have got an idea why we called him the Stallion. But he was crazy. He was literally crazy. He would do anything. It was like an alter ego to him. Like we'd be like, Zach, do this, or like, Zach, jump on this something. Like he's like, nah, and he's like, but you're the Stallion. So we like hype him up with that. So he had like this alter ego that would do that. But there was this one time we were playing Sierra Linda High School. He was at shortstop, I think, and I forgot what happened, but I think he slid for a ball. I don't know if he slid with his feet first or if he slid. I don't know. Something happened when he was at shortstop, and his knee popped out of place, like completely dislocated his knee. And like it was like nasty. Like you can see him like limping right there. And then next thing you know, you just see him just grab his knee and it just pops back in. But it was so loud too. It was like I heard it. I was catching and I heard it from shortstop, and it was just this loud like pop, and he just popped it back in place. And you hear just everybody in the crowd just go, oh! And they're like, what the heck? And they were just like, what did this guy just do? He gets back in, he pops it back in place, and he's like, let's go, come on. And we're just like, let's go. So we were like, get all fired up. We're like, yeah, Stallion. This guy was crazy, bro. That was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. He just popped it back into place, and he's like, oh, he's just like, let's go. Oh, what a great moment. Love you,
Dude, I have an identical story. So I was playing this. I played with a kid. He went D1, but he most intense kid I've ever met. Like he like off the field, he was just like on the field, he just flip turned. Like I was like, I couldn't even talk to him. Like bang his head against a brick wall type kid. So there was like a shallow fly ball. I was playing shortstop. He was playing left, and he went out, and we collided, and his shoulder pops out of place. Like it's like this,
Ooh.
and like I'm hurt too, and I was just like, I got up eventually, and I was like, dude, are you okay? And he just goes like this, and he goes, and rolls and pops his shoulder back in, and he goes.
I don't know how people do that, but I don't know if I can have like the courage to just pop something back in place.
Like,
And just fuck that.
Yeah, I don't even know how. I don't know like what goes through your mind. Just be like, yeah, my shoulder's just. I'm just gonna roll over on it.
Just get better.
That's what I'm saying.
Let me just still think this is but like, I don't know. Adrenaline.
All right.
Yeah, we had 2 kids out for 5 weeks popping their shoulder out.
Yeah, for
Hey,
real.
why can't Kyle pop his shoulder back?
Size should have popped his shoulder back 2 weeks ago, bro. What is he doing?
All right, next question. It's starting to get hot now, right? It's getting a little.
Oh yeah.
So we have a story about eyesight. That might help some of our kids here.
Show up dehydrated. And here's a really big kicker for baseball. It's important for every sport. But if you're 1% dehydrated, your ability to track an object decreases by 10%.
What?
Think about that. 1% dehydration leads to a 10% decrease in tracking an object. Well, that's the whole point of baseball, is tracking that object. And then 95% of your first movement is controlled by eyesight. So are you going to swing? Are you not going to swing?
We need to put that on a t-shirt. We got to put that on a t-shirt and start selling that. That's the most valuable thing that that anybody could take from this episode, what you just said right there. I mean, because what are we talking about? This game is so mental. If you can't focus and lock in and your eyesight's affected and everything, I mean, what are we doing?
I don't want to risk that now. That's crazy. I didn't know
crazy
that.
I don't know. No one talks about it. I don't know why.
That is insane.
I don't know how you know when you're 1% dehydrated though.
You probably always
hitting the ball. You probably.
I can almost guarantee you're always 1% hydrated.
Especially I've been dehydrated all season, bro.
Because when we start practicing here, you're sweating the entire time.
Yeah,
your
bro.
shirt changes a different color.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
You're not drinking
No
enough.
way you can keep up with that.
But yeah,
Just-
definitely. I mean, just the last game that we played,
It was
Southmont.
It
Yeah.
was literally yesterday.
No, 2 days ago. 2 days ago.
No,
was
yesterday we
yesterday.
definitely played.
Played yesterday.
Definitely
Oh,
played
no,
yesterday.
not the game. Monday's practice. Even Monday's practice was just hard, bro. It was brutal. We were like
So
sweat, and we had to run the 2 bows in the beginning of practice.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was not ready for like the heat and all that exhaustion. So I feel like
Yeah, we had a kid lay flat on the concrete. We had to shower with water.
Oh my
Presley.
yeah. Someone got heat stroke. That's
you
right.
guys heat stroke?
Yeah.
Oh my god, these kids from Colorado. Anyways, like we're like, dude, yeah, Arizona gets hot so fast, and you're never expected to be hot. Like we just had 70 degrees the other day, and now we had like 98. Just what was it, 96, whatever, on
Yesterday,
Monday,
yeah.
and it's just like you did not expect it. So I feel like you just always have to be drinking water out here because you're gonna pass out. Man. A lot of stuff happens like that. Like summer ball here is brutal, man. Even just umpiring. Remember that time we were umpiring, bro?
It's brutal.
Umpiring is brutal in the heat. I don't even know how they do that. I can just imagine I do play in it, but yeah, playing it is tough, man.
Especially when you're out there.
Yeah.
A long time, like a long inning, and you're.
Oh my god.
Catching, bro. Catching with all the gear on, bro, and you just, oh my god, that is the worst thing you could ever do. Even pitchers, bro. I had to face the pitcher last year during summer ball, and mid-inning steps behind the mound and just starts throwing up, just yakking a bunch of stuff. And we're like, what the hell? This dude almost passes out, man. Like, it happens so fast, man. It's so common out here. People get dehydrated out here.
Jeez. Yeah. All right, go to the next question. What's the funniest thing you've seen a teammate do? Try to keep it sort of PG.
I was about to say. I have a lot of videos. We have a whole compilation from Oklahoma. Of
I was
funny
gonna
things
say,
that we
bro.
can say.
Oklahoma was next level.
Jamal was something else. I'll tell you that. Oh, let me think of that.
I don't know.
I can probably start it. There's a video actually. It happened about like 2 weeks ago. What was it? Yeah, I think so. No, not.
Did you send it?
Did I send it? I might have not. Oh no. Yeah, I can try to send it to you right now. Here, you guys tell a story while I try to do this.
I'm gonna try to think, man. This is tough. There was a lot of stuff, man.
Can't think of a PG.
Oh,
Yeah, it's hard to think of a PG one. There's a lot of stuff that are like rated R. I can just stay at the top of my head and just, probably get canceled, kicked off the team. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something.
I'm trying to think of a baseball thing. Like,
There it is.
what happened that was funny? That was really funny. Dude.
Kate Lacey showing up bald was pretty funny. Out of nowhere. We've had like 5 people on our team just shave their heads.
Yeah, that became
That's
a
been pretty
trend
hilarious.
really
Yeah.
quick. Oh, here we go.
You gotta give a backstory.
All right, I'll tell the story. So after our Glendale game, we ended up going to Golden Corral. And Casey's never been to Golden Corral. So
Best place of all time.
yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. So we're playing What Are the Odds? And I was like, what are the odds you go grab the entire tray of Jello? And so we go like 3, 2, 1. Both say or 10 and 3 or something. And he's like, you have to go do it. And everyone's like, no, that means you have to go.
It was 7 and 3.
7 and 3. Yeah, because as I said.
Odds of 10, I say 7, he says 3. And I didn't know the rule of if it adds to the number you're going to, I have to go do it. I was like, there's no way this is a real thing. And everyone around the table was like, yep, you have to go do it. So I went up to the person who was like doing all the desserts, and I was like, can I take this? She's like, hold on a minute. And came out and got a whole new thing of Jell-O and was like, okay. And I just took it and started eating it on the way back.
Bro.
The way just thought it was so funny.
It was so funny.
Didn't she end up giving you a number too?
Yeah, it was this random girl on the other side of the restaurant.
That
was hilarious.
I got something funny too. It never happened in the baseball field, but it was with me and Casey when we were umpiring, bro. The first time we were umpiring. So Casey, long story short, Casey's like, yeah, dude, you should umpire with me, man. Like, we make a lot of money, like easy hours. Like, all I have to do is just umpire some like little kid games. I was like, all right, man, this sounds cool. So I got all my umpire gear. I'm like ready to go. We go out to our first tournament. Keep in mind, I've never umpired in my life, so I'm only relying solely on my baseball like knowledge to umpire. So I have no idea. I barely am learning like where to stand like the day of. So we play our first game. It's like 8:30 in the morning, and there's a ground ball, and I'm the field umpire, and they throw the ground ball, and then the ground ball. They field the ground ball, they throw them out at first. And they threw him out by like, it had to have been
2
like
steps.
No, dude, it was like 5 steps, bro. they threw him out by a lot. And then they threw him out. I'm just like, safe. And then everybody starts going crazy. The
First play of the game.
It was literally the first play.
Like 2 pitches in.
First play of my career, bro. This is the first call I've ever made in my life. And I'm just like, safe. And the coach comes out and he starts yelling. He's like, are you kidding me? He's like, he was out by 5 steps. What are you doing? I'm just like, Coach, I saw what I saw, Coach. Like, he was out. We got him right there.
Guy was dehydrated.
I was probably dehydrated. It was really hot. And Casey, I look over at Casey. Casey's just laughing over there. I'm just like, dude, get me out of this right now. I don't want to umpire anymore. But that was probably the funniest thing that happened between me and Casey, bro. Like,
That was so funny.
Haven't umpired since, though.
Yeah, that's the last day of the shop. We had like 6 games that day too. We were like,
Yeah, dude, we were
started.
exhausted.
We were there
It was
till
so
it was like
tired.
a 14-hour shift. It was nuts.
A funny thing I could think of was when it was really windy one day, and there was a balloon in center field, and Trey was next to me, and I go, "Yo, Trey, go catch the balloon!" And as soon as he starts running, it starts slowly drifting away into like right field, and he's sprinting for it, and he like almost gets like 3 times, and the wind picks up, and it just slowly goes up, and Trey like jumps as high as he can. Like, it looks like so cinematic. He tried to get it, didn't get it, like fell. It was, like,
He fell on his
He like
face.
tried to bear hug it,
Yeah.
and he completely just flew up under his arms.
Damn, Trey.
You know what's funny about that? I saw that balloon like 4 hours later at GCU.
That balloon's been all around.
Jeez. Okay. What sport do you think translates best to baseball? Go back a little serious.
That's a good one. That is a really good one.
I think tennis.
Oh
Personally.
my god, that is biased. That is very biased.
Think about it. It's like footwork. You're still kind of swinging and throwing.
Yeah.
Like what other sport like is?
I think
almost
football.
similar?
I think one of the
I think
best
football
players.
for
I think one of the
competitors.
best players I've ever played with have all played football, like as well too. So I'm just like, there has to be some sort of translation. I mean, very, very like. I mean, every play is explosive, so you're working all types of explosiveness, footwork, athleticism. So it has all of them, and you're playing with like, I don't know. It's just like there's a lot of nerves on the line too. So I feel like you deal with a lot of pressure situations and. Definitely football. I feel like football produces the best athletes, and it translates well in baseball with like rotation-wise and everything.
I would say football too. Like, that last point you just made, rotational wise. So I played quarterback, and our coach would literally say, when you're throwing the ball, act like you're swinging a bat, like rotational wise. Like, move your hips like you're swinging a bat. Because throwing a football is so, like, you have to be so like perfect in your mechanics to like get it right. And that's literally how he explained it. And as soon as he said that, I started throwing the ball farther, harder. Like, just get your hips into it.
Yeah.
Like, swing, like, throw it like you would swing a baseball bat.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's ever since you said that. I mean, I don't play football anymore. But I mean, like, there's a lot of things in baseball. Like, also, like, I played DB too my freshman year, and like, also like when you go back and then they say turn and you flip your hips. Like for outfielders, it's like the same thing. So yeah, that's what I would say.
I mean, yeah, just look at Deion Sanders, Bo Jackson, like all of them. Like, you can't tell me those were like some insane athletes right there that were on the football field and the baseball field. Like, some of the crazy things I've ever seen was like Bo Jackson, like doing like crazy athletic plays in football and then crazy athletic plays in baseball. So I feel like, and even then, I feel like, was it Deion Sanders that said was like, well, I think he was talking about how baseball was harder than football, but I don't know. I still believe that football players are like insane athletes that can translate well into baseball. Definitely.
Well, think about this. Who's the best shortstop in baseball right now? Bo Bichette, right?
Debatable.
Okay.
I would
Trey
say
Turner. I don't know.
defensively, Brandon Crawford's got it.
Bo Bichette's the right
Okay,
answer.
okay. Let's go with Bo Bichette. Okay.
Bo Bichette played tennis until like.
Oh my God. I'm pretty sure it was a country club kid. That's probably why you played tennis.
It could be true.
His dad was dad had money. So.
Yeah, his dad had money. Yeah, they probably put him in tennis just for the fun of it.
His dad also casually played in the MLB for
years.
years.
Yeah, just casually.
All right, we'll go one more video. It should be, I forget the name of it. Don't believe. You guys will react to it.
This cat, NorCal guy, all right, was a JC catcher, had no scholarships offer leaving JC, all right. The scout called him up, needed a catcher for a workout, says, hey dude, you know, and I think he, you know, like, I've done that. Like, I just need some dude to come in and catch people. Or he's catching guys, gets to hit a little bit, bangs, does really well. So the scout comes up to him afterwards, like, hey man, it's really good today. He goes, where are you going to school next year? And it's kind of create and follow. Johnny's like, man, I'm not going to school. I don't, nobody wanted me. I'm going to the Marines. This guy's like, what? You going to the Marines? Yeah, man, I'm finishing my paperwork. So he talked to him a little bit and convinced him, hey man, listen, could you pump the brakes on this a little bit here? So I just want to try to find some stuff. Johnny was able to pump the brakes on a little bit. That scout drafted him. A year and a half later, Johnny found himself with Tampa Bay Rays, which was really a new organization at the time, in AAA. And Lou Piniella called down. The manager called the manager in AAA and said, hey dude, I need somebody. Who do you got? And he's like, who's your best guy? Well, our best prospect is this guy, but he can't hit. But I got this guy here that Gomes came from nowhere. He's smoking the ball right now. Well, give me the guy that's smoking the ball. He went to the big leagues and he never came back. What is it, 14 years? It's determination. It's not letting the smoke get in your eyes, man. It's stick to it, do your work.
That's a crazy story.
That guy's Johnny Gomes, by the way.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is insane. That is a crazy story.
Yeah, that's a great story. Just the determination that you have to believe in yourself every day through the ups and downs of the entire season, because there's going to be droughts and there's going to be highs, but just to believe in yourself the entire time is the most important thing in this game.
How I think of it too is just like, I don't know if you guys ever seen that picture. It's like the miner where he's like mining and then like it shows like in the dirt like all the gold, all like the diamonds that he's about to mine, and then like he like starts walking away from it. It's like you're like almost there and people don't even realize it, like how close you are to reaching gold, how close you are to like striking like this new opportunity for yourself. And it's just like the hardest part is, you know, like persisting through and just like telling yourself, okay, like I just gotta keep going, like we're almost there. And that's the hardest part, is just to like kind of believe that there is opportunity on the other side and that how close you are. Because a lot of times right when we're about to reach gold, like you're like, you know, I've been going at it for way too long, like it's over, like I gotta go. And you just leave it like that.
Especially when no one else believed in you.
Exactly.
Like in that story,
yeah.
No one else really believed in him except for one guy.
Yeah, all it takes
that
is one.
got it back into himself for him to believe. So
he was about to be a Marine. That's crazy.
Makes you wonder too, like how many guys didn't make it because they didn't have that one little thing or that one little connection that would end up, you know, working out so well. Like it really, like, it makes you think to yourself, like, I don't want to be that guy. Like, I want to have confidence in myself. I know I can do this kind of thing. Like, make sure you have all those traits, those mental traits, because they're so important. in this, especially in baseball. Like that, stories like that actually happen a lot.
For sure.
Yeah, like Evan Gaddis, that guy with the janitor.
Yeah.
Someone's like, "Yo, come play some men's league."
Yeah.
And now he played 10 years in the major. Like,
Or even like Altuve too. Didn't Altuve just like
snuck onto a
he
tryout?
snuck onto a tryout and
Exactly.
now he's like
Just need
one.
a shot. It's just all a little shot. Yeah.
Now he's a future Hall of Famer. I don't know. He's still a cheater, but I mean,
Yeah, and even dudes like Cody Bellinger, who had like 1 home run in high school
yeah,
and then became the MVP.
Yeah.
that's crazy. Cody Bellinger's crazy.
And darkest before the sunrise.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that concludes episode 6 of the podcast. Thank you guys for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.